half girl, half god. Oh, heroine! You're listening to Ranking Rick Riordan, a podcast about Percy Jackson and the whole wide rest of the Riordanverse. I'm Dan.
I'm Olga.
And I'm Clara. And today,
Ranking Rick Riordan presents Ranking Rick Riordan Presents.
this episode, we present Aru Shah and the Song of Death.
Ranking Rick Riordan is available on youtube.com/DoingOK and podcast services around the world. Let's get into it.
Woohoo! All right, should we get into the recap?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
because we've talked it up plenty.
Yeah, you go, girl.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'll talk about it during the recap. I'm sorry.
You can bring up something.
No, it makes sense to bring up at the recap. Way towards the end. All right, Aru and Minnie try to fight zombies called Heartless as they search through the night bazaar for the bow and arrow thief. They find the supposed thief, their sister, battling a shapeshifter that took the form of Aru. Nega Aru, go on, Dan, has taken the bow and is controlling the Heartless. As the imposter escapes, Aru and her new sister, Bryn, argue over who originally stole the bow. Bryn is claimed as the daughter of Vayu and gets a dope wind mace.
It is cool.
Yeah, I love that it's a choker, too. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
The Council of Guardians apprehends Minnie, Aru, and Bryn as they are all charged with stealing the weapon.
All right, you want to pause here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is sort of the opening set piece. I thought there were a lot of enjoyable pieces to it. As far as I like the whole thing where like the weapons aren't working. Definitely heightens the tension. I like the using the grocery cart stuff. And really setting up Bryn as like a badass and all that.
Yeah. And just starting them off on an action sequence and with the tension. I just think it's a really great transition from End of Time to Song of Death. Yeah. Kamadeva, the god of love, had his bow and arrow stolen from the Naga treasury. Somehow the thief got past Takshaka, the not at all suspicious guard of the treasury. And Naga, is he like a king in his own right?
No, he's like the head of the Imperial Guard kind of thing.
Ulupi, queen of the Nagini, demands the Pandavas prove their innocence by retrieving the bow and arrow within 10 days. If they fail, they'll lose their memories of being Pandavas and the other world. Dun dun dun. Also, a bunch of dudes will be stuck as zombies because the bow turns men into Heartless. Yes.
Very clear stakes, very clear goal, very happy about all of this.
And I love the fact that they're like 10 days, and they're like, why 10 days? And they're like, because that is how we do things. It's like, and all the modern people being like, what the heck? That's not fair.
I love that. And also at the end, when there's like an actual stake of like, but you didn't do it in the 10 days. So like our hands are tied, and everyone again being like, but why? And they were like, because.
and then completely being like, wait a second. One of the people who insisted on this is the traitor. So never mind the 10 days. It was just like, I appreciated poking fun at this for readers.
Pretty fun. And I like that there's the point here that like really gets you like miffed at Bryn and Aiden that they joke about the thing with Aru at the end of last book where she like made a fool of herself.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good way to like be like, you guys stink.
Yeah.
I'm on Aru's side.
Exactly. Yeah. But at the same time, we're like, that was pretty mortifying, I guess. Why it's hilarious. But because we're on seeing it through Aru's eyes, I don't want her to be made fun of.
I mean, they definitely took me on Aru's journey as far as I did not like Bryn at first.
Yeah.
And,
I was like, I know I'm gonna like her by the end, but like, how are they gonna get us there? And I loved how we got us there and her vulnerability. So
I see a like strong muscly girl, and I'm like, she's a favorite. Like, this is if Clarice was likable from the get-go.
Yeah. If Clarice got to be part of the trio.
She's like sooner. The girl from Encanto, whose name I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the strong one.
Yeah. I still love the story about how they assumed that no little girls would want to buy her toy, and then it like sold out massively.
I know. I love that. That's hilarious. Bryn speaking of, is revealed to be part Asura, but doesn't seem like the thief after all.
Ooh.
She begrudgingly agrees to work with her sisters. Boo wants to join them, but is imprisoned under suspicion of helping the sleeper. Instead, Aiden, a witness to the supposed crime, will join the girls. He's Bryn's semi-divine bestie and Aru's crush. Aru makes a pit stop home for supplies, and we're reminded that her mom is annoying and refuses to talk to her daughter about anything. Great.
Yep.
No editorializing from me at all.
No. God, that's so... All right. Anyway, the gang reunites at the warehouse of quest materials.
Love this part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bryn gets battle boots. Aru gets a bright idea. Aiden gets unidentified necessities. Helpful. Minnie gets a power nap. Yeah. I love, in retrospect, the idea of like Aiden again being like put in the position of the supportive wife character.
He's the mom.
He's the
grandma.
amama.
Yeah.
He's the grandmother.
Yeah.
So what I wanted
was
to
your
say,
role in your friend group.
it really was.
Yeah.
No, I really was the mom. My grandma was everyone's grandma, though. So Aiden, you guys saw it coming, right? That he was the wife.
Yeah, I did.
No, Clara.
Well,
okay.
we actually debated this at the end of the first book, you and me, off mic.
Oh yeah.
You said you thought he might be the secret sixth Pandava, and I said I think he's the wife.
Yeah.
So
But
there.
once, see, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that conversation. And once we had him there with, especially once they were like, I'm not a panda, I was like, oh, he's going to be the wife. So Clara, as someone who did not think about this.
Yeah, I want to hear my terrible reason why. I just forgot the wife existed.
Fair enough.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Who are you
I'm sorry,
apologizing
world.
to?
I don't know. Myself, women, I don't know.
I think it's interesting. I feel like if a guy wrote this book, there would be a love triangle based around this. Don't you think? And there might still
there
be,
might
but
still
I
be.
don't think there's gonna be though.
Well, Hera isn't one of the, I think Hera could be a potential love triangle thing. Just saying.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They head off via flying gazelles and land at the palace of Kamadeva to get the deets on the missing bow. Again, also putting Bryn as like, and she gets a connection to Vayu in a way that, you know, neither Minnie nor especially Aru get.
But then Aru one-ups her because they actually know the mount already. And all that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
it's really
satisfying and I
good.
felt bad.
Oh, and the stuff of like Aru attempting to have like shorthand with Minnie and Minnie never understanding.
So that's what that's how I saw her lying manifesting itself of like her jealousy and being excluded instead of like the friends from her private school. It was with Minnie. So
I love how Minnie just never got it.
So funny.
I love Minnie so much.
Yeah. Oh, she's adorable. In her goth gear
Yeah,
too.
Oh my god.
She's a bad.
I thought of Nico like immediately. And I was like, I just imagine a crossover of those two meeting and the level of like what is going on that would come from Nico. Like,
I feel like Minnie is Nico if his sister never died.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. And Nico was like more neurotic.
Yeah.
Maybe she's like the child of Will and Nico.
I could see that. Oh my god, healing and death.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So Kamadeva's abode is protected by a mean giant swan, and the team has to learn to work together and trust each other to defeat it. I was attacked by a swan as a child, so this was a difficult
experience.
Kamadeva tells them how love and desire can do anything, including start wars, and tells the tale of Sarpanika, who was attracted to the gods Rama and his brother Lakshmana. It led to a big epic war. That's that is the main crux of this book.
Meanwhile, he
he
also caused some trouble with Shiva, and Shiva incinerated him.
Yes, but his wife brought him back, and that's how the bow, using her grief, got this power of control. And
well, read the part that I specifically said about the bow.
okay. Anyone with enchantment knowledge struck by grief could carve out their own soul song, allowing them to use the bow and arrow to rip people's hearts out instead of joining them together.
Yeah, so that's how we have the Heartless.
Yes. If the thief's soul song is returned, the Heartless will return to normal. Luckily, the song is still in the Naga treasury. Once they retrieve it,
Why is it? Why would she have left it there? Whatever.
Oh, well. Great question. Maybe she didn't want it near her.
I guess she knew. Maybe she was like the Pandavas will come here and Taktika can take care of them.
Maybe that's the idea. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Once they retrieve it, they must speak the true name of the thief to reveal the weapon's location, then plunge the arrow through their heart to cleanse its dark power. After some more zombie hijinks and Bryn carrying Aru around, that was so funny. The crew arrives at the underwater airport. Loved this setting as well. Next stop, the Naga realm. Around here, we learn some more about Bryn and Aiden. Bryn is strong, likes cooking, loves eating, and has trophy bracelets. She also has abandonment issues because of her mom and is mistreated by many for being part Asura. Aiden, meanwhile, is struggling with his parents' divorce. His mom was an epic Apsara, but gave up immortality for his dad, who is a butthead. Also, no editorializing by Dan.
No, that's just fact. That's just fact.
I agree. Yeah.
So, I mean, do we want to talk more about Aiden? Like, I'm trying to figure out why I don't like Aiden more, because there's no reason not to like Aiden. He does have multiple, like, I love the photography stuff. He's a good friend to Bryn. I don't know, his dad, the stuff with his parents, I think overall is handled pretty well.
It's very relatable, again, given the age range that this book is targeted to.
I will say,
I have no problem with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say my favorite scene with him is in the denouement when it's him and Aru with the mom. Yeah. So by the end, I'm definitely more on board.
I mean, I appreciated how he is also clever and uses his camera to make things happen, as we'll discuss.
Yeah.
Also, Aiden loves taking pictures and has cool swords.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah. His scimitars. Yeah. So cool.
Well, and the thing of him using from the cover of the book with him, the lightning going on the scimitars is cool.
Yeah, well, thanks to Art. So again, them working together is brought in fairly quickly.
Yeah.
A humpback whale takes them to the terminal for the Naga capital, but the Pandavas are rejected by an officer and Aru gets pulled into the water. Fortunately, Aru is somehow able to breathe underwater and talk to fish. Did not see this coming as like
a power
daughter of the god of thunder.
I thought this was a very intriguing mystery with a good answer. Honestly, I really liked the whole underwater section. Something about her being alone for that bit I thought was really enjoyable.
Yes. Yeah. I think it was nice that we got some alone time with Arg, especially considering that the book just starts with her fighting and not like, I'm home alone and dealing with my thoughts and that kind of thing. So Aru makes her way to the palace of Varuna, the water god, and Varuni, the wine dudette.
Varuna and Varuni.
Varuna and Varuni. Okay. And the wine dudette, goddess of wine and wisdom, I believe. Varuni gives a haunting prophecy, and the couple offers Aru a secret route to the Naga treasury if she feeds their pet. Also, this is the beginning of the sea well.
Yeah.
Recurring theme.
I would like to get more of Varuni.
Yeah.
I like her.
Yeah. She was fun.
Yeah.
A blue crab leads Aru to an arena where her friends are trapped in cages. The crab grows and reveals that he is the pet they have to feed. Dun, dun, dun. They fight him and make Disney jokes. This was great. Love being a Disney imprint, right, guys? Then Bryn lets herself get swallowed, turns into a big animal, and the crab throws up. Technically, they fed him, so now they get to go down a creepy tunnel to hunt for treasure.
This is almost like the Ant-Man Thanos meme in a more child-friendly way.
Oh, yeah. They reach the former palace of Ulupi and Arjuna. A bunch of creepy skulls talk to Minnie, and then the souls of 3 snake ladies emerge. They grant Minnie knowledge of the thief, but they kidnap her as well.
I love, we were basically saying this before, but I love the contrast of Minnie being Minnie, but then having this dark power.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. The Nagini reappear and reveal that Minnie is in the land of sleep near the court of the heavens.
Hanging out in Home Depot.
Yes. Man, Aru was tripping. Then they give the rest of the crew a vision revealing that Takshika is a traitor who hid Ulupi's secret important jewel thing. Wow. Okay. Was it her like soul heart gem? Yeah.
Something.
Then the snakes give Aru the jewel. Also, Aru can do cool water stuff because Ulupi loved Arjuna. So there we go. That makes sense and is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
They get to the treasury and face off with Takshika. He wants revenge on the Pandavas for burning down the Khandava forest that killed his family. And especially the fact that he and Arjuna had been friends at one point. He was the protector.
Yeah.
He
and I like
him.
the whole thing of that he had like protection from Indra, so the lightning bolt can't really do anything.
Yeah. They try to mess with his senses by playing Despacito, but then Aiden's phone breaks and all seems lost. What a time when Despacito is everywhere.
So good.
Suddenly, Bhangra music begins playing, and Takshika's grandson helps the trio escape. Dude wants Aru's phone number, so she gives it to him and leaves with the soul song. I was laughing because at Sweet 16 I went to for an Indian friend in high school. Us white kids were being taught by her family how to dance, and they were like, screw in the light bulb, pet the dog, do it at the same time. And that being like word for word what is used here in the glossary. I was like, oh my God, I thought that was like a joke just for us, but apparently that's like truly a cultural touchstone for Bhangra music. So the more you know, still learning here at almost 30.
I wanted to say, I really do think that they stepped it up as far as the action stuff in this book. I think both the crab scene and the Takshika scene were, and I think the Takshika, I have trouble saying his name, Takshika scene is like by far the best we've gotten, because I like that it has the humor, it has multiple levels where it's like, oh, the phone's falling, we have to catch the phone, like then ad plays.
Oh, that was so funny. Yeah, this was, I think, speaking of enjoying this book a lot, you know, I was able to visualize everything. I really did not struggle with like fight choreography and like placement of characters and all of that.
There's a single scene where I still had that problem. I'll tell you what it is right now.
Oh, good.
Get ready.
All right.
The red cows. I felt something happened.
Clara froze.
Guys, my internet, I'm back now. It literally froze. Dan, you go. I'll tell you what it is right now. And then it froze.
I'll tell you what it is right now.
The red cow bit, I felt like it was, it just felt very strange about, like, I had a lot of trouble being like, so how close are the cows? How far? Like, it just felt like it was going, I don't like that bit. That wasn't my favorite bit.
Okay, but that wasn't even really a fight scene, so I don't count that.
It was the same thing where I was like, it felt like the cows were getting closer and then they were far away again and then they were closer. That's what I was saying about, like, not being able to visualize. Yeah.
Also, interesting, red cows and two different cultures, mythology.
And both connected to the sun
god.
Sun god. Yeah. I've been wondering about that a lot because, like, Proto-Indo-European like mythology and language and stuff means that a lot of things got spread to a lot of places coming out from India. And I don't have enough history to say anything more intelligent than that point. But that was exactly my thought, Olga, with the red cows. And I don't know why I haven't done a deep dive yet. I've been busy. But stay tuned for next time. Ranking Rick Riordan presents Clara Talks About Red Cows.
I would listen to that segment. So our trio gets a well-deserved break and eats yummy food. Yeah, this part made me hungry.
This bit. I love this bit so much. I was like, hey, these are words I actually know because they're food.
Also, Bryn being like, I'm going to go back there and teach them how to cook. And then,
my God.
And I was like, I don't think we should keep eating this food. They're not going to be happy. So they remember Minnie advising them in their dreams, and Aru takes out a card Kamadeva gave them. It leads them to the DMV, Department of Many Voices, so they can seek the protection of Sage Durvasa. They can't get an appointment, so Aiden uses his magical smoldering abilities to sweet talk their way in. Thanks to his mom being a beautiful Apsara and charming Many. Durvasa is a petty, grump, not a pretty grump.
Did I write pretty?
No, I almost said pretty.
We don't know, actually.
Yeah.
He might be.
Yeah.
One saucy minx.
That's what I think of DMV employees. But eventually decides to say that he cannot tell them that Minnie is at the Bridge of Dusk and Dawn because he wishes some endings could be avoided. He also didn't give them adequate protection in the celestial realms by speaking to them, which will vanish after sunrise.
Now, this is one of those times where I'm okay that things were kind of left up in the air because it feels like clearly we'll get back to this and like we're supposed to not know why he's doing what he's doing exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The three enter the dreaming grove of Ratri and have to face off against nightmare dogs. Bryn and Aiden are trapped, but Aru faces her nightmare head on and the hounds turn into nice dreams, aka cute little fluffy white dogs.
Yeah. I love this like repeated thing of Aru's ability to see really being a superpower and how it like happens in all sorts of different ways. I love it.
Yeah. This gave me hope. Like this scene gave me hope for more of her like imagination and like special abilities shining later on. Because I up to now, I hadn't really been feeling that a huge amount.
Well, I think it's interesting because this is also like the most fairy tale bit, right?
Yeah.
It probably is the bit that harkens back the most to the first book. In a way.
Definitely. Yeah. They save the sleeping Minnie at the Bridge of Dusk and Dawn and are chased across it by red cows of Ushas, the goddess of dawn, who is very positive and hippie and all of that. After Minnie's power nap, they use the thief's name, Serponica, and Soul Song to discover her whereabouts. She's plotting with Takshaka to steal the nectar of immortality. It's located in a labyrinth containing serpents whose fire kills anything with a heartbeat. That's why she needs the heartless zombies. Serponica is hiding them in the ocean of milk.
So I thought it was really cool how the ocean of milk and that story of the churning the milk and everything was set up in the first book as sort of like an aside and how important. And I was like, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
But also the fact that this is like an important myth and an important part of like folklore and like the god's roots. And we have that with also Sage Durvasa and all of that as well, because he's the one who, you know, took away the immortality of the gods. So it all just ties together very nicely. And like,
I was wondering,
too.
You know, if a person was much more well versed in like Hindu mythology and stuff, whether they would see Serponica being the thief coming earlier than we would. I feel like he does a good enough job of making it vague who this person would be, but while still having that story in there early on.
Yeah.
There's the thing with like the long fingernails. I think Aru like has some vision earlier or something and like sees long fingernails and then doesn't her name has something to do.
Yeah, that's what Serponica like translates to.
Yeah, so maybe like that as a hint.
I was just thinking about like, you know, when we read stuff like, oh, they're at Medusa's house and it's like, oh, there are all these gardens full of stone people. It's like, oh, well, we obviously know who this person is.
Right.
But, you know.
Yeah.
Well, also the fact that like Kamadeva brings up giving them a vision of the legend of Serponica as a way of being like, I wonder who stole the bow and arrow that you guys are going after.
But there are enough names for me in that section.
Well, and that's the point where for us who wouldn't know the link between Kamadeva's bow and Serponica, like these three things, but them being presented together, as well as Kamadeva being like, sorry, I can't help you anymore. That someone, again, as you said,
I feel like he would say that no matter who stole the bow. But
fair enough. But my point being that, again, in terms of prediction, that for us, it was just not going to be tied together.
Yeah.
So Durvasa advised the quartet not to go to the Mall of Meditation Groves to get to the Great Swamp of New Jersey illegally. Bryn muscles her way through dozens of travel agents, and they catch their portal, but not before their agent sounds an alarm. At the Great Swamp, our crew...
Well, does anybody have any thoughts about this mall sequence?
It was a great transition. Yeah.
Didn't outstay its welcome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At the Great Swamp, our crew finds the entrance to the Ocean of Milk, guarded by 5 small figures and a big dude named Sparky. A girl named Hera is forced to show the quartet that Serponica is beautiful by transforming. Aiden recognizes a guard as Navdeep from school. Great. That was funny.
It was weird.
It was just like, okay, like, sure, why not? The guards are easily dealt with because they're sniveling children.
Yeah, I felt like I was like reading a part of like a Pokemon anime where it's like Team Rocket's here and they're completely incapable.
Yeah. This wasn't necessary, but why not?
Of Hera,
I know, that's the thing. Like, sure, why not? All are dealt with except Sparky, who steals the crew's weapons and challenges Bryn to an eating competition.
Mm-hmm.
This had one of my favorite jokes in the whole thing where like the chapter ends with her saying like, I never lose an eating competition. And the next chapter is Bryn loses an eating competition.
I really love the chapter titles. We haven't mentioned that, I think, in either book, but they're great little hints at what's going to happen.
This is also a moment where I feel like if you're in tune with Hindu mythology, you probably would have figured out who Sparky is faster than we did. I mean, I did realize, oh, he's fire.
Yeah.
But like, you know, the specifics.
But even the thing of like, he's an actual god, I wouldn't, So Bryn loses spectacularly because Sparky is really Agni, the god of fire. He loses control and his flames start to eat away at everything. Aru throws her bright idea at Agni to push her idea of nothing edible onto him. Agni's hunger is sated and he offers them passage into the ocean of milk. So I want to pause right here. I really love the fact that the bright idea is not like given to Aru by her consuming it. She herself had this idea, and by throwing it, she passed it into someone else. Yeah. So I was afraid that there was going to be a lack of agency.
Yeah, it could like pop off the top and get an answer.
And the fact that she tries to by like pulling it off too. Yeah. But no, it was always within Aru to come up with that. But transition it to someone else as a way of defeating them. And even then, defeating them not by like, and now you're gone and dead, but making them whole.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also sort of, she has this idea that she gives to him, which makes him see the world the way she wants him to see the world, which is like such a recurring theme here too.
And I really like the like bit about like, you can't kill an idea. Like, like it's not consumable in the same way.
I just adored
this whole section, like every piece of it, what between the comedy with the eating contest, Agni as a character, her doing the idea, and then the little talk afterward. I think that whole section is fantastic.
This to me really is the standout for this book. Yeah. So Aru asks why Agni burned Takshaka's forest, and he responds with a parable about how life isn't fair, but things happen for a reason. Aru remembers how her mother taught her that villains can do heroic things and heroes can do villainous things. Agni hands out fabulous prizes. Minnie gets a night flame so she would never be lost in the dark. Cool. Bryn's wind mace receives a new flaming ability. Aru receives an IOU coin so she can receive a weapon in the future. Sorry, Aru. It will probably be very, very helpful in the future. And Aiden's Shadowfax gained magic memory and battery life. Aww.
If only we had that here.
Yeah, that would make Dan's life a lot easier. They arrive at the entrance of the labyrinth in the Ocean of Milk and find 2 talking Naga guards.
My 2 favorite characters in this book. I love everyone, but they're my favorites.
They're so funny. Yeah. Oh, I love the thing of like, about talking about like magazine concepts and like how they're just trying to sell an idea of beauty, and Bryn's like, like even though she's under a shield where they can't see her, there's the thing of like she raises her fist in solidarity. It's just like very funny.
I love it.
I don't know, maybe just because I didn't remember what Naga versus Nagini or whatever.
Male and female.
Yeah, were they female or were they male?
They were male.
They were male.
That's very interesting that they were definitely playing with gender roles.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. But yeah, again, the whole like stop right there, and then it turns out they're just practicing being intimidating.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Everything is so good.
Yeah, it was a great like bit of levity before the big action heartbreak sequence. So our crew attempts stealth, but one guard accidentally trips them while practicing dancing to Bhangra. Hera saves the day in the form of Serponica. She's part of the Otherworld foster care system, and Navdeep's family took her in. Bryn offers to take her in, and Hira joins the squad. Well, Bryn is like, my uncles are connected. Like,
yeah, it was interesting that then he ended up with Minnie, but...
Well, that's, I guess she helped pull some straight. Who knows? Yeah.
It's all because of her secret master plan. She had to be with Minnie and not with Bryn.
Oh, boy. Well, either way, she's infiltrated the Pandavas. I want to trust her completely, but I just, like, can't.
I trust her completely. I feel like Aiden is more likely to betray them.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool. I guess I can't really talk about Hira because I've been like gathering images and stuff of Aru stuff just so I have everything set, and I feel like that like semi spoiled me.
Well, I
don't want to hear anything else from you.
I was just gonna say, I mean, if we can theorize here, and Dan, don't comment. I'll just look at Clara. I think that Hira might be the 6th secret Pandava.
I could see that,
or like a Kaurava or something, like a cousin, something like that. That's why I'm like, well, we have enough here that we don't know what's gonna happen. Like, there's enough mythology, there's enough in the epics where we know things go wrong, not to mention Aru having to like face off against Minnie / the rest of her sisters, like being othered in a way that I don't know.
I can totally see that.
I'm just still so worried about that opening sequence of like fake Aru that I don't know what will happen. Yes, Nega Aru. So they are faced with the Heartless Army, Takshaka and a beautiful Lady M, aka Serponica, wielding the celestial bow, not blow.
Celestial blow.
That's what Bryn does. Lady M wants to talk to the Pandavas and see if she can convince them against fighting with her by hearing her side of the story. She says her real name is Meenakshi, and she regrets attacking Sita out of grief and ridicule. No one ever talks about how she made up with Sita years later.
I like that bit the most.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Lady M argues she's more than just a monster. She's a scapegoat who suffered disfigurement. She wants to be remembered as her true self. Unfortunately, over the years, she has begun to devolve into the demonic creature from the stories. She needs the Amrita to restore her story and the story of those like her. This was the Sleeper's grand plan. There we go. I was wondering how this is going to link back, and this is a great... Yeah. And hers isn't the only army forming. Wonder when that's going to be relevant. Yeah. Aru is overwhelmed by how complicated this has gotten. Ultimately, she and her friends decide to fight. If they don't, they'll be banished, and the kidnapped men will be heartless forever. 2 wrongs don't make a right. Lady M turns Aiden into heartless, and fighting breaks out. Well, also Aiden jumps in front of Aru, so that's true. I forgot. Moment of sacrifice.
He expected that to happen.
Yeah. Aru comes up with a plan to trick Takshaka into giving them the bow. Minnie hides Lady M, and Hira turns into her again. Takshaka hands over the bow, and Aru plunges it into the real Lady M's chest. A terrible song of death breaks out, but Lady M is defeated, and the Heartless are saved. But also, as Aru does this, she's like, Meenakshi, she gives her the recognition of her true name and how she wants to be remembered. So she's like, mourning the fact that she's doing this, but even so is like honoring her in that moment.
I think that the whole name thing, and even when they go and talk to Kamadeva later and say the real name, feels very Rick, Percy Jackson-y, I guess, like the heroes wanting things to change and
for the better, like learning of like, we're not going to be like our forefather, we're going to be more than what is expected of us.
And I'm just saying as a parallel, not like, oh, she's copying.
No,
Thank you for clarifying that, but I think we knew what you meant. Yeah. Takshaka tells them they are too late and missed their deadline. Wahaha.
No one can overcome bureaucracy.
The Pandavas return to the court of the sky for a trial with the Council of Guardians. Aiden arrives with holographic proof that Takshaka was a traitor. Yay, I love things like that. Aru returns Ulupi's heart jewel, and the queen has Takshaka taken away. Boo is freed, and all is forgiven. And Boo's all like cute and worried, and it's cute. And I love that Takshaka like escapes off screen. Like, I was worried he was gonna escape in that moment, and I was like, how? There's like a bunch of people here, but the fact that he like Oh, Dan is making a face.
No, I was just thinking, think about how cool it would be if we got like a little epilogue from his perspective and he broke out.
Okay.
That would just be real. I mean, we don't need it, but it would be really cool.
I don't like the idea of breaking away from Aru's POV.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking about like the end of Magnus Case 1 where we go over to Loki out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good point.
It'd be cool.
Fair enough. Fine. Fine. Weeks later, our group returns the bow to Kamadeva and he grants them amazing boons. Aiden gets an arrow to help his parents fall back in love, but also it's to grant awareness of love, not necessarily romantic kind. Minnie receives a box that can erase a minute of time. Bryn gets Kamadeva's favorite cookbook with heart food, adorable, and Aru receives a spotlight that will make the world see her in a different light. Interesting. As the four leave, Kamadeva reveals that Aiden is a Pandava by marriage. He's the reincarnation of Queen Draupadi.
Wifey.
Henceforth, he is dubbed wifey by the girls. Oh, that is like such a joke I would make with my friends in like middle and high school.
Feels very, very real.
Yeah. Days later, everyone is preparing things for Aru's Lord of the Rings girl birthday party. Sweet 13.
Clara, do you want to explain that?
Yeah, hi everyone, it's me, Clara. When I was Aru's age, I had an email address that was, I won't say the whole thing, but it was LOTRGRL, and that was what I wanted to be known as, so that's cool, and I love Aru.
I was wondering why it said that here, and I was like, I'm just gonna say it out loud, but nope, it was making fun of Clara.
Yes, deservedly.
Thinking back to that time and embarrassing usernames never to be spoken.
Do you have one?
Not that you'll ever know.
Oh, really? Mine was Crimson Ninja.
Oh, that I knew. That's like everywhere in our
It's everywhere in our house.
Well, it's a recurring theme in your life, and given the fact that we
embrace my childhood.
You'll never know. Actually, I might have told you, but I'm not repeating it on the podcast. With Aru's encouragement. Oh, so, she goes over to meet Aiden because she sees him pacing in his yard, and her sisters and Hera, they're not letting her see how her party is being planned. Yeah. Also, she's wearing a Gandalf beard and cloak, and that's just a hilarious mental image.
Yep. I love her.
With Aru's encouragement and some dumb luck, Aiden uses his arrow to help his mom see herself the same way he does. It was really sweet. So,
really nice.
Oh, nice. Self-love, embrace. Like, yeah.
I just thought of at the end of Scott Pilgrim when it's like, Scott learns self-respect, and he powers up.
So that night, Aru dreams she's in a forest with a pair of younger twin girls. One of them received a vision that Aru will save them next year. These are the other two Pandavas, right?
We know that there are twins.
Yeah.
I forget what parent they have, but
it's a different one from Arjuna.
Yeah.
It's like they have a different mom than
something like that.
Minnie, Aru, and Bryn's reincarnation or past
We'll
selves.
learn again soon.
I apologize.
Something to that effect.
Yes, there are twins. We meet twins. Jaya. Oh no, that's the other myth. Jaya and Vijaya are other things. Anyway.
Anyway, if you want to send us feedback in the future, let us know what you thought of this book. Send us feedback at ourpodcastfeedback@gmail.com. Comment on the YouTube version of this podcast or tweet at us at Ranking Riordan. Please send us reviews on Apple Podcast, Audible, rate us on Spotify, all the good stuff. That would be great. I'm skipping feedback this week just because we have a lot to get through. So let's get ready to rank. All right. Olga, you going to sing it?
No. It's your job. Don't shirk your responsibility, Daniel.
Let's be frank, it's time to rank. This one's good, but that one stank. Ranking Rick Riordan. Presents!
And you wanted me to do it. Nah.
All right, so we're just going to start. Basically, we had a whole talk last time about what we're going to do we still have time to talk about that because we're going to be on Aru for a while, so we'll get back to you. But as far as where we are now, we have Best Hero. We go Minnie and Aru at number 1. Nominees, Bryn, Aiden, and Hira.
If I were gonna just run through it, I'd basically just add those guys in the exact, like, I would do Hira last, then Aiden, then Bryn, then Minnie, then Aru.
Yeah, I think Aru deserves to be number 1 now.
I would put Bryn over Minnie.
But
is that heresy?
It's a really tight little triangle.
Yeah.
I mean, if both of you want Minnie as number 2, that's fine.
I want Minnie as number 2, and I want Aru as number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally fine. All right. So next up is Best God. Right now we go Hanuman, Urvashi, Boo, who I still not sure if he's a god, and Chitragupta. Our nominees are Kamadeva, the god of love, Agni, the god of fire, Varuna, the god of water, Varuni, the wine and wisdom dudette, and Ratri, the god of night.
Goddess.
I didn't put the sun lady because she barely did anything.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. She's not going to make it on here.
I don't even think all of these people necessarily need to get on here. But...
Yeah. I think Varuni needs to be here and needs to be sort of high up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Agni.
Mm-hmm. And Agni.
Yep.
Does it make sense for Agni now to be like, I think, should he be right below Boo? I mean, Boo wasn't in this book, but much.
What if we take Boo off for now, and then if we find out more about Boo, then, like...
I mean, is he a hero?
That's what I was wondering.
Let's put him as a hero instead.
Yeah, let's do that.
And then let's put him between Aiden and Bryn.
Yeah, he's above Aiden right now. Yeah,
I agree. So I'll read that again. Hira, Aiden, Boo, Bryn, Minnie, and Aru.
Yeah.
All right.
Back to the gods.
Why don't we just go one at a time? Kamadeva, did they deserve to be on the list?
Probably.
Maybe between Hanuman and Urvashi?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. Agni, I think I would personally put as number 1, but I could also see number 2.
And I love Chitragupta.
Yeah, I think he should be number 2.
Fair enough.
Also, I don't think we mentioned the fact that Bryn and Hanuman are like half siblings because they share father.
Vayu.
Yeah, Vayu is both. So I appreciated their like relationship as well in the beginning. That was cool. Nice. Yeah.
I don't think Varuna needs to be on here.
You wanted Varuni on this list.
Yeah.
So.
Varuni,
Should she be at the bottom right now?
No way.
No.
Really? Okay.
I put her over Urvashi, honestly. Or on either side of Urvashi.
I'd put her above Urvashi.
Okay, I'm down with that.
She just like had a vibe.
Oh no,
she
I really liked
did.
her. I just think that it's very likely she'll end up dropping down. I think that's why I'm like.
I don't think we'll see her again. Probably.
I hope we do.
Yeah, I hope we do too.
Yeah, we have 3 more books. Yeah. I'm good at math.
And then Ratri. The thing is, there were a lot of gods in this book, and I don't feel like some of them just didn't really stick out that much to me. Like I liked the section with Ratri, but I don't feel like I got a handle on her that much.
Yeah.
I liked that realm.
Yeah.
But I didn't really care about her so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll read our new list. Hanuman, Kamadeva, Urvashi, Varuni, Agni, and Chitragupta.
Nice.
Good stuff. Best baddie, Madam B, Shukra, and The Sleeper. Nominees, Lady M / Serpanica / whatever her real name is. Meenakshi. And then Takshaka.
Huh.
This is hard.
I love the villains in this series, apparently. I think
I would go Madam B, Shukra, Lady M, Takshaka, The Sleeper.
Clara, what do you think?
I would put Lady M below Shukra.
Oh.
I love Shukra still a lot.
That's fair.
I personally just feel like Lady M has more, just like nature of like her being the main driving force of this story. Feel like she should be above Shukra.
I sort of feel like it because she has so much more space. Mm-hmm. She is lower for me because Shukra had more emotional impact. I felt much worse about what they did to Shukra compared to what they did to Lady M. And so I feel like that's sort of like a failure.
Yeah.
I mean, you both feel that way, so I'm good with that.
I feel like eventually Shukra is going to have to fall down the list, but for right now...
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, can I also say that potentially Takshaka should be, for now, number 1?
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
No, under the sleeper.
Okay.
She wants him under Shukra, doesn't she?
What?
I want him between Madam B and Lady M.
Whoa, really?
Man.
But it's fine. I'll put him under. I'll put him wherever you want.
Number 2.
He's gonna.
All right.
Okay.
I just feel like he was a very like fascinating villain that he like tricked his queen all that time, and
he also scary.
Yeah, that's the other thing where he's like.
Yeah, there's like multiple ways of being a good baddie, and I think one of them is being intimidating, and I think that him and the sleeper are the only ones that have been intimidating.
The thing is with like the sleeper, where it's like part of me is just like we don't really know why he's doing the thing. He was doing the things because he has to do the thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Takshaka has like a rational, like he's like avenging a wrong, like him being like, you killed my family and I hate you for that.
Well, like this is very much the classic. If you wrote it from his perspective, he could have been like the hero. Of the story.
Yeah.
Like you want him to get his revenge, except he's a big scary snake. And we don't like snakes here.
He, in many ways, he should be one. You're right, because we know the big bad is always a snake. Oh, which reminds me, Aru does lie about something. She lies about Slytherin being her Hogwarts house, not being her Hogwarts house, I think.
That's really funny.
You would never lie about that, Claire.
I will say, if I ever start a culture, no snake gods allowed. Okay?
And then when your culture is attacked by a snake,
I'll know why.
You'll be like,
I'll find deference.
No, I needed to worship you out of fear, and and then you'll do a 180 and only worship snakes.
Clara, have you seen all the covers for all the books in this?
No.
Just because the 5th book is a giant snake on the cover.
Yes!
All right. Now comes the book.
Wait, read the final.
Okay.
Yeah.
You read it. I don't know.
Okay, best baddie, Madam B, Lady M, Shukra, Takshaka, and the Sleeper.
The Sleeper. And Hira is going to be number 1 next book.
I potentially book 4. I'm just saying. I don't trust her. I feel bad for her. But like, come on. She's too sweet and shy. I don't buy it.
All right. Book ranking. So we know where Clara stands and we know where I stand. Where do you stand?
I stand with Dan.
Oh. Okay. That's not much of a debate then.
I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to fight it.
You want to fight it. Come on, Clara. I see you.
Give your argument.
Yeah.
No, my argument is just that I liked End of Time more.
Yeah.
I can't argue that it's better. I really feel like it's a subjective thing that I am feeling. And I understand that the problems that I also had with End of Time are addressed here. It just also took out the thing that I loved the most.
Right.
But you know what?
I hope they strike a good balance in the 3rd one.
I think I think she really is gonna, like, I think in some of those later books when the emotional points get increasingly intense, I think it's gonna be great. So.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. So Song of Death gets to slightly nudge out End of Time for now in our rankings.
All right.
I mean, I really am enjoying this series. I'm so excited to keep reading.
Read the 3rd one now. Yay.
Yeah. In time for another trip for me.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. I have to say it now. I got very close to say, girl, you tripping.
Why?
Wow. I'm glad you didn't, Dan, but I guess
he
now
also
you
did.
Yeah. I feel better about my old email address now.
And that's what really matters.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Let us know your thoughts. And may the gods be ever in our favor.
In our favor?
Ooh.
Isn't that what it is?
In your favor.
It's usually your favor, but
you know, Dan wronged the snake gods, so we need everyone else on our side.
Our favorite. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.